What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video, we finally have the Ultra League Premier Cup Classic back, and with it, the ban to mythical and legendary Pokemon, as well as XL Pokemon. So, we are going to be running a fun triple water team that you guys can try out. I believe I've tried this team before in the past. I'm sure I have, but in Lapras instead of Walrein. But we're going to run it with Walrein here. Swampert being really weak to grass, has some nice coverage in the back with Shadow Gyarados and Walrein, because Walrein, super effective damage against grass type Pokemon, and Shadow Gyarados there takes neutral from grass while doing a lot of damage with the Shadow Dragon Tail fast move. If you guys don't have Dragon Tail, use Dragon Breath. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, getting into the first battle, we have Swampert on the lead versus Snorlax. Okay, we'll have to see how this plays out. It's always tough to read teams when you're facing off on a Snorlax lead because there could be a lot back there. There could be an ABB line, it could be ABA, which if you guys don't know what I mean by that, that means the typing. So if we have tank and then double anti-fighters in the back, or it could be a tank, anti-fighter, and a tank. So it's going to be tough, but what we're going to look to do here is try to go for another Hydro Cannon, and then I want to try to catch the Superpower. Knowing that they just went for Body Slam right there, my guess is they're going to try to go for a cheeky Superpower right here. So I'm going to load up, and then I'm going to swap to try to catch the Charge move. So I do catch it, but is it a Superpower? Mind you, Superpower will be resisted. No, it's just going to be a Body Slam, so that's really unfortunate for us. We're going to go ahead and Dragon Tail down, but they do get to another one in time, so I'm going to give up a shield. Shadow Gyarados right here just does so much damage with Dragon Tail in this the Ultra League Premier Cup Classic meta. We do see a Walrein come in, and we're going to throw the crunch here. If we get that debuff, Dragon Tail is just going to start chunking, which is going to be beautiful. We don't get the debuff, but we do land, as you can see, already below 50% HP, which is really nice for us. So we're going to go ahead and let this go. I've seen Walrein, I've seen Snorlax. They have to. I'd be really surprised if they don't have a flyer in the back, whether that's Dragonite, maybe Crobat, maybe Talonflame if it's not XL, but granted everyone's is going to be XL. Maybe it's Togekiss. We'll have to see, but I'm going to bank everything on there being a flyer in the back because I've seen a Snorlax and a Walrein, so I'm going to save that shield here. Icicle Spear, we barely survive, and we do get to the next Hydro Cannon, which is really nice for us because this is going to get the Walrein low enough where Icicle Spear starts to threaten. Instead, we get a shield, which is beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead, and they're staying in too. I'm going to go ahead and stay in right here. Well, I have to stay in. It's my last Pokemon, but what I'm going to do is not throw. My guess is they're going to try to catch the charge move here, hopefully catch the Earthquake. So sure enough, it was a flyer in the back, and it was Togekiss. So that's a very great read right there. And that's just what you need to do sometimes in these games. When you see your opponent's first Pokemon and their second Pokemon, you can try to theorize what that third Pokemon could be. And in this case, I thought it had to be something that could beat fighting type Pokemon, and a flyer made sense. So we're going to go ahead and take that out and go for the Earthquake now to close this game out. So that's going to be a good battle, very well played. Now, triple water is always fun. Typically, right, you would think, oh, you're extremely weak to grass. But this, while that can be the case, and we will see grass Pokemon today, it's not always the case because you have Icicle Spear and Powder Snow, and you have the Dragon Tail along with taking neutral. Now, we had a Dragonite on the lead and a Shadow Granbull on the safe swap, so this is not looking too good right here. This Shadow Granbull is going to tear apart my Gyarados right here, but thankfully the Aqua Tail did chunk enough. Now, I'm thinking, okay, Swampert can't farm down, especially with Mudshot, but maybe Walrein can. So we're going to go ahead and come in. Those Powder Snows are doing a decent amount of damage, and I will have to shield right here. Granted, I didn't really want to risk it, right, with shielding on Swampert and not being able to farm down and getting chunked too much, so I'd rather have the energy here on Walrein and give up shield advantage. Now, the final Pokemon is Swampert, so now I have a slight win condition appearing here, and this is going to be catching the charge move on Swampert while saving the shield on Walrein. So we're going to go ahead and swap, and we do catch the charge move. Now, the reason why is if this is Earthquake, which I think it's going to be, that chunks our health. Their Dragonite coming in as well won't have a lot of farm. Plus these Hydro Cannons, even though they are resisted, Dragonite being Dragon typing, even though they are resisted, this still does a good amount of damage. And I don't think they can farm me down. So we do get to a second one in time. This is huge. It's going to be forcing that shield, or we take out the Dragonite. We take it out. Beautiful. Okay, so now Swampert is left. And this is a very tough situation right here. I need to land one Icicle Spear. They still have 2 shields, and they have a good amount of energy. So what I have to do is I need to call that this is not an Earthquake. I have to call it. I have to call it. Nope, it was an Earthquake. Dang it! That's going to take us out. Boom! We go down. Good game. Had that been a Hydro Cannon, right, we could have won that one because we would have been able to shield the next one and get 2 Icicle Spears off. But that's what happens sometimes. You got to make the tough calls, especially in a situation on a Dragonite lead and a Shadow Granbull swap in. It's kind of tough, but we almost came back from that. Alright, so we got Nidoqueen now on the lead. They're staying in, which tells me the Swampert does really well. Now, they decide to bring in Trevenant, the first grass Pokemon we are going to see today. We're going to throw the Hydro Cannon right here. This is resisted, but it still does a decent amount of damage, and I'm also going to come in with Walrein for 2 reasons. 1, we are doing super effective damage right back. Yes, we take super effective from Seed Bomb, but we are doing a nice amount of damage here. 2, I'm worried about a potential fighter, or pseudo fighter in the back. I'm reading that there might be an Obstagoon with a double anti-fighter, kind of anti-fairy, right? The Nidoqueen, really good against fairies and fighters. Trevenant, good against fighters. I'm like, okay, maybe there's Obstagoon in the back, and having my my Gyarados with Dragon Tail is going to be much better. So we do take out the Trevenant. Plus, if Nidoqueen decides to come in right here, we're looking very, very good. Be able to do super effective damage with the Icicle Spear and Powder Snow. So again, I could be wrong, and there could be something that just hard counters. It could be like Empoleon, for example, that could just really do, or not Empoleon, Magnezone, for example, that could do really well here against my Gyarados, but we're going to trust that we can do this. We're going to go ahead and throw the Hydro Cannon now before they can get to the charge move here to force them in a tough situation. Do they want to shield the Nidoqueen, or do they just want to trust in their third Pokemon? They want to trust in the third Pokemon. It's actually going to be a Walrein. So this is going to be interesting. You guys are going to see what the raw damage here from Gyarados can do. We're going to shield because we need to do as much damage as possible with Dragon Tails. That is now our damage source. Hydro Cannons, Earthquakes, they're nice, but they have to land. Dragon Tails are neutral, and they just start chunking, as you guys can see. Now here comes a Weather Ball, or not the Icicle Spear here from Walrein. I need to have some more of my coffee. I made it. I have the cup right here, as you guys can see, my Dad Dinosaur cup, but I haven't drank it all yet, and they decide actually to surrender. We would have gotten the crunch right there, and that would have been a good game. All right, moving to the next one, we have Swampert on the lead versus Muck. Okay, really positive lead here for us. Obviously, we're in a really good situation, and Kanto Muck here has access to Thunder Punch, which we obviously want to keep away from our Gyarados and Walrein. So we're going to go ahead and go for the bait here with Hydro Cannon, which honestly isn't even a bait. It still does a lot of damage, and we get the shield. That's really nice. We're going to go ahead and no-shield the Dark Pulse, which I'm guessing it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be Dark Pulse. Doesn't do too much damage. And now we're going to go for that Earthquake right here. We're just going to go ahead and send it. But they swap into Empoleon to catch what they think is a Hydro Cannon, but it's not. Boom! Nearly one-shots the Empoleon right there. It was a beautiful swap by my opponent, and a really good call seeing that I went for a Hydro Cannon to try to catch it as resisted damage, but ultimately I was fishing for 2 shields right here, which is why I went for Hydro Cannon, then Earthquake. And we're going to go ahead and trust that they're kind of weak to Swampert on their team. We're going to see if we can 3-0 them with just Swampert alone, which is actually possible. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon right here. This isn't going to be enough to take them out, but I should be able to farm down after they throw the charge move. So I'm going to go ahead and shield right here. We'll have to see what's in the back. Hopefully it's not something like Ampharos, because then I would just get destroyed, but no, it's going to be a Sylveon. Imagine if that was an Ampharos that came in and Volt switched me down and then just one-shot everything. Focus Blast, my Walrein, and Thunder Punched my Gyarados. That would have been really bad, but we should be able to get to this Earthquake in time to close this game out. They do get to the charge move. Even Moonblast from this range isn't going to be enough to take us out, but that was too quick, so it's just going to be a Psyshock, and that's going to be a good game, very well played. So sometimes teams can be weak to one Pokemon, and you can really leverage that here. Whether they're really weak to Walrein, and you can just kind of clear through, maybe you farm down a Dragonite, and you can do super effective damage against Nidoqueen, or Swampert in that last game. All right, moving into what I think is the final battle here, we have Swampert Mirror Match on the lead. What I like to do here is not throw the Hydro Cannon right away. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it on the Earthquake, and they decided to throw at the same time too. So this actually could be an Earthquake. An Earthquake does do a lot of damage, but I will let it go. That's okay with me. I should be able to throw back-to-back Hydro Cannons right here and threaten a shield on them. So we do get a shield right away, which is beautiful. We're going to go ahead and go for a Hydro Cannon now. Do as much damage as possible, and then we're going to look to try to catch the next Hydro Cannon, but they decide to swap out into Dragonite, which Walrein is going to come in and say thank you very much. Now, I don't really know the count on, I haven't really used the Superpower Dragonite too much or faced off against it too much. So they baited me there with the Dragon Claw, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and just throw the Ice School Spear here. I don't really need... I could go for the hard farm down, but I don't want to potentially give up 2 shields in this situation. So I'd rather have a little bit of health, but like I said earlier, some teams are weak to Swampert. Sometimes teams are weak to Walrein, seeing as we have the Dragonite and now the Nidoqueen and Swampert. So Walrein is looking very good in this game. We're going to go ahead and shield here. Their best bet is to land an Earth Power, so I'm going to go ahead and shield, or Stone Edge if they had it, and this is looking to be a good game. Because remember, they still have their Swampert in the back, but we have our Shadow Gyarados, and this is looking to be a good one, as Walrein just puts in so much work against this team, and sometimes that happens. So, good game right there, but ultimately there's really nowhere they can go. I kind of checkmated them with the Dragonite safe swap. And brought in the Walrein, and they're going to be a good game right here because they're going to go ahead and throw the Earthquake, the nod to me right there. Good game, man. Throwing the Earthquake right there made me actually chuckle when we were battling. So good battle, but ultimately I hard countered their team, and sometimes that happens. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This team's a lot of fun. Again, you may think you're weak to Grass-type Pokemon or Electric-type Pokemon, but Swampert, Harzwalls, Electrics, and Walrein and Gyarados can handle Grass with their typings and move sets. It's actually a very synergistic... the team synergizes very well. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.